Yo, this is the Clockwork Pi PicoCalc. It's a Raspberry Pi Pico-based DIY kit that you build yourself. You've finally got it, you've unboxed it, you've admired the pretty cool design, and now you're probably itching to power it on and finally start coding. But hold on just a second. Before you get carried away, the community has figured out a few things that can make your first experience with this gadget a whole lot smoother and help you dodge some common headaches. This isn't just about software, it's about making sure your hardware is secure and you know how to talk to it. Trust me, spending a few minutes on these prep steps now will save you a ton of trouble later. We're going to cover 3 key tips every new owner should follow, starting with a simple physical trick to keep everything lined up perfectly. By the end, your PicoCalc will be more robust, more functional, and truly ready for whatever you throw at it. Well, first things first, this is the most important tip, which is why it's first. And it involves opening up your PicoCalc's case, which for many of us is part of the fun. Now, inside the PicoCalc, the screen sits in a snug little groove. The problem is, this is a tinkerer's device. You're probably going to open it up again to get to the Raspberry Pi Pico or update the keyboard firmware. But when you open and close the case, the screen can sometimes shift just a tiny bit. It might literally only be a millimeter, but if it's not sitting perfectly when you snap it shut, you can create a pressure point on the display. Now, it's a known issue discussed on the Clockwork Pi forums, so a quick preventative mod has become pretty standard. And the fix is super easy and takes less than 5 minutes. We're just going to give the screen a little tape seatbelt. So first, power off your PicoCalc and then turn it to the back. And now we need to unscrew the 6 screws on the back panel so that we can gently lift the panel off. Okay, so if you have your batteries in, go ahead and take them out. And now we need to gently unplug the screen's ribbon cable. Now, there is a locking tab on the connector. It's black, but using your fingernail or something small, carefully flip it up to release the cable, and then we can lift the main board out. You're now looking at the back of the LCD panel, so grab a small piece of electrical tape. A strip about 1 inch long is all you need. And what we're going to do is place the tape vertically so it overlaps both the back of the screen and the plastic case. We need one on the left side. I put mine in the middle. And we also need one on the right side. So we're not trying to mummify it, we're just adding a couple of anchor points to keep it from wiggling around. This little piece of tape makes sure the screen stays perfectly seated. And once you're done, we can reseat the mainboard and ribbon cable by sliding it and flipping the lock tab down. Now, before we put the back panel on and our batteries back in, our next tip also requires access to the inside. We're going to update the keyboard's STM32 firmware. Now, this is essential to make sure all your key presses are registered correctly and that the device runs as smooth as possible. Since we already have the case open and the batteries out, we're halfway there. So look at the main board, and just below the SD card slot, you'll see 2 dip switches. You need to turn switch 1, which is the left, to the on position by flipping it up like this. Okay, now we need to connect a USB-C cable from your computer to your PicoCalc. Okay, and with the cable plugged in, you want to press and hold the power button to turn the PicoCalc on. Okay, now your computer needs a special program to talk to the keyboard controller, and it's called STM32Cube Programmer, and I'll have a link for you in the description below. Okay, once you have the software running, look at the top right and select UART from the blue drop-down menu. And then go and click Connect. The program will now be communicating with your PicoCalc's keyboard controller. So next we need to download the firmware from Clockwork Pi's GitHub. I'm using the PicoCalc BIOS version 1.4.bin. You go to it, you click download raw file. Now inside of STM32Cube Programmer, click open file, and then click the file you just downloaded. Now all we do is click download, and it will copy over to your PicoCalc. Once it's finished, click OK, and then go and click disconnect. And now you can unplug the USB-C cable and flip the dip switch back to the off position. So switch it to off. And now that your keyboard is updated, you can put the batteries back in and the case back on. Okay, so we've secured the hardware and updated the keyboard, and now it's time for the main event, completely changing your PicoCalc's brain. Now, the Raspberry Pi RP2040 and RP2350 chip is incredibly versatile, and you are definitely not stuck with just one operating system. Flashing new firmware is how you turn your PicoCalc from a cool gadget into your cool gadget. And the best part, the steps are extremely easy. So we need to make sure our PicoCalc is off again and unplugged. You can also turn it to the back one last time. Now what we need to do is reach the boot select button on the Raspberry Pi Pico. This is a custom case by the user N602, which completely exposes the Pico. But if you have the stock or the original case, you can look through the vents on the back and still get access to the boot select button. So if you have the original case, use a toothpick or something small and press and hold that boot select button while plugging in a micro USB data cable. The moment you do that, your PicoCalc will show up on your computer just like a USB flash drive, usually named RPI-RP2 if you're using a Raspberry Pi Pico or Pico W, or named RP2350 if you're using a Raspberry Pi Pico 2 or Pico 2W. And now for the magic. All we do is drag and drop the firmware file onto our drive, and that's it. The drive will copy the file over, and once it's finished, it will automatically eject itself. Now all we do is drag a firmware file over to the drive, and the file will copy, the drive will automatically eject itself, and your PicoCalc will reboot with its new firmware installed. That's literally it. You've just performed a complete brain transplant. So what can you install? Well, the options are constantly growing thanks to the community. You can find all sorts of firmware on GitHub and the Clockwork Pi community forums, from custom calculators to retro game emulators. I have a repository named Awesome PicoCalc that will help you get started. This is your gateway to a whole ecosystem of awesome projects. And there you have it. 3 must-do first steps for your new PicoCalc. You've physically secured the screen for future tinkering, made sure its core keyboard firmware is up to date, and unlocked the door to a whole universe of custom firmware. Your PicoCalc is now safer, more functional, and ready for you to make it your own. Now, if this guide was helpful, consider subscribing for more PicoCalc projects and tutorials just like this one. I'll put links to all the tools and community pages in the description to make it as easy as possible for you. But now I want to hear from you. What's the first thing you're planning to build with your newly set up PicoCalc? Are you writing with Basic, checking out my PicoWare project, or have you found some wild other firmware to try out? Drop a comment below and let's see what everyone's working on. I'm JBlanked. Thanks for watching. Peace.